How have corporate interests captured your supposedly science-based profession? I'm a veterinarian and this is really hard to talk about, but I think it's really important and more people need to know about this. Because of the avian influenza outbreak, millions of birds are being unalived by sealing up barns, pumping in heat and steam, and waiting for the birds to pass away. And producers are saying that they're using veterinary-approved methods of euthanasia. But this isn't euthanasia. Euthanasia is a term that's reserved for the humane ending of a life of one who is suffering. Intensive farming practices where you have 1 million or 5 million birds, if just one tests positive for avian influenza, all have to be killed. And producers failed to put a plan in place to use humane methods of euthanasia when their birds get sick. How does this happen? Industry, an example would be Prestige Farms, gives money to our research institutions like North Carolina State University. They then name their Department of Poultry Science the Prestige Department of Poultry Science. The industry trade group like the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association gives grant money to researchers there to fund research that centers their interests. One example of such research is Dr. Kenneth Anderson, who did all of these studies on ventilation shutdown. This trade publication explains how the poultry industry pushed for Anderson to take on the project because other methods of mass unaliving, like foaming and gassing, weren't very good for the caged houses. So he did studies like this, where he put chickens in boxes and sealed them up, pumped in heat, steam, and saw how long it took them to pass away. The report he made was then used by the AVMA panel on depopulation to write the AVMA guidelines on depopulation. The USDA then takes those guidelines to implement policy, and then they give indemnity payments back to the corporations for using these methods. Veterinarians are horrified to have their profession used in this way, and so they're fighting back, and over 1,500 veterinarians have signed on to Veterinarians Against Ventilation Shutdown, and we are asking the AVMA to reclassify ventilation shutdown as a not recommended form of depopulation. But disturbingly, the industry is now pushing to make this a preferred method of depopulation. If you want to help us out with this campaign, please reach out. We could use all the help we can get. Even if the AVMA does reclassify it to not recommended, the industry can still use it, but they wouldn't get taxpayer money for it.